Keep going. All right. Why Star Trek Picard failed? It didn't fail. It's got a second season.
You know the name? Now play the game. MTG Arena is your gateway to the CCG that starts.
So this is another one. Oh, this is only 14 minutes this time. So this should actually be quicker. Let's go.
Season 1 of Star Trek Picard finally staggered over the finishing line the other night after...
Why do these motherfuckers feel the need to make stupid ass motherfucking voices? And yes, I understand that my voice that I'm using right now is actually different. Well, not different, but it sounds like me. But these motherfuckers, they sound as if they sound stupid, it would actually make them sound smarter. No, the fuck it doesn't. It just makes you seem like a fucking idiot. But let's continue.
10 painful episodes that ranged from mediocre to confusing to downright insulting. And I was there with my pint of rum, ready to point and laugh as I watched this train wreck unfold.
Far be it from me, because I am playing a game and I'm fucking drinking while I'm playing a game, but... Really, dog? I don't know, but let's continue.
I think it's fair to say that Patrick Stewart's long-awaited return to his most iconic role wasn't exactly the roaring success that CBS and Alex Kurtzman were hoping for. In fact, if Beyond and Discovery killed this franchise, then Picard resurrected its decaying corpse, bent it over a table, and had its way with it, using the teddy bear from my Doctor Who analogy.
I mean, like, you put a lot of emphasis on that shit. Like, does it get you a little bit excited, dog? But let's continue.
For me, it pretty much proves that Star Trek as a brand has basically exhausted its supply of everything a show needs to be successful. It's out of good ideas, out of creative energy, out of money, and well and truly out of fan goodwill. And it's a real shame, because for a while, Picard was touted as the show that was going to save Star Trek after the increasingly disastrous movies and the expensive waste of time that was Star Trek Discovery.
And yet, Discovery got a third season, Picard got a second season. It's almost as if you're talking bullshit and maybe the show isn't for you. But you know what? You're not going to stop watching the show because it's going to make your poor little snowflakes fans' hearts just disappointed when you can't shit on something because it isn't exactly like you like it. Get the fuck out of here. Let's continue.
So what the hell happened? Well, now that I've had a chance to see everything Picard has to offer, I've been able to ponder where and how it went so badly wrong, just as I do with my own life. So with that...
We've both made poor choices. Give me a second, guys. I gotta go run to the bathroom right quick. Here to give me some water too. Water goes in, piss comes out. Alright. There we go. Let's continue.
That in mind, I've put together my top 5 reasons why this show failed to connect with audiences. Ready? Nah, me neither. But fuck it, let's do this. Number 1, the story. The Star Trek of the past never really got bogged down in continuous, season-long storylines, and for good reason. It's fucking boring. Yeah.
No. Star Trek, they literally did have season or series long fucking episodes. The fact is, we didn't have fucking the streaming service that we have now. The same shit that towards the later part of Star Trek, which they did have continuations. Hello, the Cardassian conflict. Hello, a lot of the shit in the later parts of the series. Hello, Voyager. Hello, Deep Space Nine. It's just like a lot of these. Maybe because Voyager was captained by a woman, and they had somebody who was of Native American descent. They thought it was the rainbow color bus of like shows they didn't want to watch, or maybe because DS9, and I don't want to seem like I'm attributing like really really bad shit to them, but maybe because they thought DS9 because reasons like the fuck, like I don't get it. Like a lot of these people just like miss previous shows, but let's continue.
There would sometimes be overarching threads that would crop up from time to time when the writers wanted to move the universe along, but at heart, Star Trek was always an episodic kind of show. Each week was a chance to start a different adventure, putting the characters in a new and unique situation so that it never got stale and dull. Yeah, some episodes were more successful than others, but even if you had a shitty one, you knew you could put it behind you and move on to something better next time. Now, we're stuck with the same basic fucking story episode after episode, and if you're gonna have your show focused on one central story arc, you need to make sure it's a damn good one. Unfortunately, well, this isn't. The premise of this show centers on the conflict between organic and synthetic life forms, and the fear that the artificial beings we create might eventually surpass us, either enslaving or wiping out their creators. It calls into question.
Okay. That's actually something that is a big theme in Star Trek. But let's continue.
What sacrifices might be justified to prevent such a conflict, whether organic and synthetic life forms can find a way to peacefully coexist, and even the nature of what constitutes sentient life. Wow, can't think of any movies or TV shows that have tackled this kind of subject matter before.
Like, literally, you're bringing this shit out almost as if it's a staple of what sci-fi shows actually do. God damn. It's as old as sci-fi and the romanticism movie. Hello, Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, or the new Prometheus. But let's continue.
The problem is, not only has this exact same shit been tackled far more competently and intelligently in previous versions of Star Trek.
Are you prepared to condemn him and all who come after him to servitude and slavery? Your Honor, Starfleet was founded to seek out new life. Well, there it sits.
Everybody keeps mentioning this episode, Measure of a Man. And it's literally almost as if they took some other shit, like with the Borg, and actually expanded it out. They took 10 episodes from The Next Generation, expanded it out, and now you have a fucking issue? Like, come on, guys. Come on. But let's continue.
But this show tries to lump these high-flying philosophical questions in with a bunch of other random crap that they think will generate interest, such as government conspiracies, mysterious disasters and secret organizations, mindless action scenes, the Borg, brushy...
But government conspiracies, oh my god, it's just like my brain hurts about some of the shit that these motherfuckers literally have a problem with. Like, the shit just kept happening. Like, the LHS 30. Okay. Actually, yeah, galaxy map. But let's continue.
She's with the criminal underworld. A roguish Han Solo character. An epic race against time across the galaxy. It's all been done before, and done better. More important, it's been done far more concisely. This show takes the basic premise and ideas of a single TNG episode and stretches it into an entire 10-episode season by padding it out with a bunch of generic stuff that we don't particularly need or want. The end result is something that feels slow, plodding, convoluted and self-indulgent. Something that's all superficial style and no substance, which is the polar opposite of everything Star Trek was supposed to be. Number 2, the characters. There are like
Yeah, let's just continue.
a dozen major characters in this show, most of whom have one significant thing to do and then go into a holding pattern for the rest of the season. There's Raffi, who basically serves no purpose except to facilitate a meeting between Picard and Rios. The rest of the time she alternates between a comically drunken, drug-smoking junkie and a wannabe wise mother hen character, depending on what the script needs her to do. Agnes, who's so pathetically whiny, useless and irritating that I have to grit my teeth every time her disproportionate face appears on screen. And for some reason, the script keeps making the actress throw up, like that's something we really need to see. But fuck it,
Like, for real, dog? Like, for real. Like, you have a... How do I get over there? Like... Can I jump to here? Okay, how do I get over there? Maybe if I go here. And then go here. Okay, cool. Oh, alright, cool. But yeah, like, these motherfuckers, man, are fucking, I don't know, man. Like, let's continue.
Makes for a banging techno remix. And Elnor, who can't decide if he's a badass ninja assassin or a sheltered, goofy, naive teenager who doesn't understand anything going on around him. It's a truly awful piece of characterization, and it's made all the worse because 95% of the time he has absolutely nothing to do. See, having a big ensemble cast is fine in an episodic TV show like, oh, I don't know, The Next Generation.
Okay, like, the cast was a ragtag group. Like, if you want to actually make it akin to, like, I don't know, Firefly, maybe that would be fucking better. But this isn't The Next Generation. Shit got old, dog. But let's continue.
Because each week you might be facing a different challenge or situation, and it makes sense to have a large and diverse pool of characters to draw on. But as we've seen, Picard is all about telling one central story across multiple episodes, and the result is that most of the time there just isn't enough stuff going on to keep everyone involved. I'd like to bring you back to the golden rule of screenwriting. If you have to start looking for things for your characters to do, you should probably start killing them off, or just not have them in the show to begin with. Number 3, Picard himself. Picard feels like a bit player in his own story, consistently pushed into the background and forced to take a back seat to the subplots of the other, younger characters around him. In fact, this show feels like it really should have been built around Soji rather than Picard, and if I had to take a guess, I'd say she was actually the main protagonist in the early drafts of the story. She's the central plot thread that ties everything together, and she's the one who undergoes the biggest and most significant character arc. So you're probably wondering, why even call the show Star Trek Picard if it's not really about him? Well, Star Trek Discovery proved that the fan base.
I mean, like, he's not wrong that there were a number of different characters that, like, got, I don't know, fucking, what's the best way to describe it? That got more screen time. Like, he's not exactly wrong with this, but it just seems like he's pissed about this. Like, I don't know. But let's continue.
Base isn't all that interested in original characters at this point. Nobody gives a shit about Michael Burnham, despite the writer's increasingly desperate attempts to tie her into basically everything and everyone of note in the Star Trek universe. So what do you do when you've been told to make a new Star Trek TV show, but you're also a useless, talentless twat that doesn't understand how to come up with compelling, interesting and sympathetic original characters? Just like with Star Wars, you bring in a bunch of old characters that still have a bit of name recognition and fan goodwill, and use them as bait to draw people into your crappy, bland, generic show.
I mean, like, he has this whole thing. It's almost as if he thinks that actors don't get old. I don't know, characters die. Like, yes, Picard was there, and he played the same naive character that says everything is going to work out. He just got smacked around by fucking life, but he's still, when given a chance, he's going to be Jean-Luc Picard, the arrogant fucking bastard who says, we're going to win this shit because reasons. But let's continue.
Like, remember when Riker and Troy showed up for one episode that felt totally disconnected from everything else, and Jonathan Frakes basically admitted that the whole thing was done as a reshoot just so he could have a reunion with Patrick Stewart? That's exactly what I'm talking about here. And
I mean, like, no shit. Jonathan Frakes was actually one of the better directors on The Next Generation and all the other shows that he was on. Like, literally, he is one of those directors who can get the best out of his actors. And I'm sorry, they played the fan service that you wanted them to play, and now you're mad about the shit? Come on, guy. But let's continue.
in fact, I like to think the creative process went something like this.
Alex, we love your pitch, but we're slightly concerned that no one's gonna care about this show.
Nah, it'll be fine. All we need is a hook. Let's just throw in some classic Star Trek characters.
You mean like Captain Kirk and the original crew?
Nah, we've done that already. Plus, the original actors are too old, and the new movie ones are too expensive. I know, what about the next generation? None of them are doing much these days.
That's not bad. People love TNG, right?
Exactly. We'll use them in little cameos so we can dupe people into thinking this is a TNG reunion, but we'll keep their involvement in actual events to a minimum so we don't have to restructure the story too much, because that would require hard work and creativity.
Dude, TNG is not going to come back. They had movies. This is why these motherfuckers upset the shit out of me. Because TNG is not going to come back. This is not going to be the same fucking Enterprise E. Because the D got destroyed. You always destroy the D. This wasn't going to be the new fucking Enterprise. They pulled that trick once with Scott Bakula. Like, for real? They pulled that shit once already. What wasn't effective. But now you just actually have something better. But let's continue.
I love it. But we need Patrick Stewart. He's the one people really care about, and he already said he doesn't want to do Trek anymore.
Nah, it'll be fine. We'll just throw a shit ton of money at him and pitch it like he's going to be the centerpiece of the entire show. We'll even call it Star Trek Picard, and we'll give him some bullshit creative control in his contract. I mean, that worked great for Nemesis, right? Remember the Dune buggy chase?
Yeah, we sure do. Great work as always, Alex. Keep up.
But Nemesis was a good fucking movie. Again, like, it was kind of surreal and Data died, but you know, people used to think Star Trek 4 was shit. Now it's fucking praises and like, oh shit, that is actually a good movie. But you know, fucking time and people change, but your opinion of shit doesn't, right? Let's continue.
but the good work.
The point is, all of these legacy characters feel like they've been included simply because they have name recognition and the actors were available. It's the same story with 7 of 9, who's gone from being a cool, logical, reserved character to a hard-drinking, sarcastic, cynical mercenary because it fits the needs of the script. Oh,
She wasn't a mercenary, dog. She literally was a fucking ranger. You know, the thing that the people that, like, I'm sorry, it's like, if you want to say they're ripping off Babylon 5, shit, give you that, because they've literally had rangers in Babylon 5. Like whenever you see a ranger in like a space fair, they're the ones that's on the other side of the law. Not necessarily bad, but they're not necessarily like following that motherfucking law like they need to. But let's continue.
Oh, and she's gay now for some reason, because I guess her relationship with Chakotay in Voyager was just an act or something. We've got to have that representation, even if it means totally altering characters we've known for decades. But
Like, literally, they keep mentioning this. Like, why is it a fucking thing that she may actually like vagina too? I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, what is your issue? What is your issue that she may like vagina? I don't see the problem. I don't understand what the issue may actually be. And it was never explicit that she was... Okay, yeah, it was explicit that she was gay. The reason why she killed the old girl in that, because Canto Bite scene was the fact that you can tell she broke her motherfucking heart and she killed her son. That's literally what was the problem happening. That's why 7 of 9 went fucking crazy like that. That's why she came and turned her into red mist. Like, she didn't just, vaporize her. She turned that woman into red mist. But let's continue.
But the undisputed king of Bullshit Mountain in this case is Picard himself. This guy doesn't act, talk, or think anything like the Picard we used to know. He gets disrespected, belittled, and chastised everywhere he goes.
Shut the fuck up.
I did everything I could.
And then you gave up.
You out of your goddamn mind.
Wait, he's not captain on a fucking starship anymore. He is literally a civilian. And he got the respect. I'm sorry. Like, he's not captain anymore. Yes, he carries the title of admiral, but that means shit all. That just means that at one time he did some great shit. Now they told his ass to sit his motherfucker down in his vineyard because you're too ideological. But, Lieutenant Star. Damn, I gotta watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. But let's continue.
Sheer fucking hubris.
And he accepts it like an absolute pussy. He never asserts his authority or takes command of a situation. He never stands up for himself or bites back at people when they get out of line. He never makes use of his decades of command, tactical and diplomatic experience. He just shambles around from place to place, apologizing to everyone, taking a back seat in every situation. He's clueless and out of his depth and totally unprepared for the situation he finds himself in.
God damn it. Okay, so if we want to go with that, Picard, in his true sense of the word, was an ambassador. Now, he's an ambassador of a long gone age, but he was literally an ambassador. Most of the shit that he did in TNG, he was the interaction that he did with the fucking Klingons after, like, the shit went down with them. Actually going to the Romulan homeworld and saying, hey, we want to help you guys out. He kept the title of Admiral, but he was literally trying to be an ambassador. That episode where he lived his life as like a fucking old man on the civilization, he was literally an ambassador. The Borg actually tried to assimilate him to be. Locutus was an ambassador. It was like, okay, we know you guys. We're gonna do this because Picard. But let's continue.
He's easily frightened and shocked by things he's experienced countless times before. In short, this version of Picard is a fucking dumb, cowardly, submissive, irrelevant old wimp. There's nothing here to suggest this man could have commanded a starship, never mind saved the entire galaxy, and it's just kinda sad to see a once great man reduced to this.
Is that your fear of growing old? That's your fear of growing old. Oh, isn't that cute? You have a fear of growing old. Aw. Let's continue.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Number 4. This isn't Star Trek. There's no easy way to say this. Star Trek Picard doesn't feel like Star Trek anymore. Yeah, a few familiar characters and actors have come back. There are some references to well-known ships and locations and species, but that's where the similarities end. It's like the makers of this show watched a few episodes of TNG with the volume muted and just kind of formed their own opinions of what the show was supposed to be about.
I'm sorry, like I don't. We can make that same assumption with you, my man. We can make that same assumption, but you know what do I know? I just watched fucking TNG and Voyager and motherfucking Deep Space Nine. And the reason why I bring a lot of these shows into the conversation because it showed the environment of Starfleet. Not just the environment on the Enterprise, but the environment on what was the other things besides the flagship were. Because you got to remember, fucking the Enterprise was the actual flagship of Starfleet. That's where their flagship ship was. But if you go to Voyager, which was really was a patrol ship, that's what Voyager was. They were a patrol pursuit ship. They weren't a Galaxy class, they were a Nebula class. And you see the life on the outskirts of, or out there where Starfleet is only an idea. And then you look at Deep Space Nine, which was on the border of Starfleet territory and how they had to interact with other territories. Then you see the three different sides of a contemporary Starfleet, and it wasn't always fucking peaches and cream. But let's continue.
The world they've created as a result feels like an entirely different universe with a Star Trek veneer awkwardly slapped on top. Characters talk and act like people from the present day, dropping F-bombs, calling each other dude, watching
What did they say the word fuck? They said the word fuck. Like, for real. This shit happened. I remember in one scene on Generations when Data had the emotional chips and he cocked the shotgun and it was intimidating his hands like, let's do this shit. But that shit isn't mentioned because you need to actually pay attention to your fucking narrative of this isn't Starfleet because they're not having some big esoteric conversations. But neither was the Next Generation. If you guys said, if this was a complaint talking about how different the version of Starfleet is from the original Kirk timeline or time period to Next Generation, and it just shows the veneer of what Next Generation could have actually been, that's a different story. Another thing too, fucking the standards for TV have actually changed since then. And if they had the same standards now as they did, if they had the same standards then as they do now, you would have seen this shit on TNG. But let's continue.
TV, drinking and taking drugs, playing on their fucking smartphones. Honestly, I'm surprised they don't show people getting into pointless arguments on social media and using dating apps to set up awkward sexual encounters. When did Star Trek become so fucking mundane and petty?
Like, does somebody sound better? Does somebody sound better? Like, that sounds better. Like, fucking Tinder. Like, I remember watching a Cyanide Happiness episode where dude was swiping. He's like, other area. And it's like different realities. And he finally got the girl that he wanted. And he's like, oh yeah, I got you, bitch. But let's continue.
The whole point of this show was to present a more evolved, enlightened version of humanity that had moved beyond the stupid shit we obsess over today and turned its eyes towards the stars. It appealed to our...
And yet, they have warships. They literally have ships of war. They literally did shit like... I was watching this fucking What's Culture videos, like... And you just some of the shit that they mentioned in like some of the episodes that were really fucked up. Like, did you know that Jean-Luc Picard used a young mindless drone to fucking try to bring down the Borg Collective, implanted them with a... I know he sounds drunk, halfway constipated, like. But yeah, but Jean-Luc Picard used a young Borg that was disconnected from the continuum to try to bring down that continuum. Even though that Borg recognized his humanity, even though that Borg actually says when he tried to like trick him as a Locutus, I'm Locutus and this is what we're gonna do. And the young Borg was like, no, this is not what we're gonna do. And they still sent that Borg to try to bring down the collective. I wonder what that Borg's name was. It was a name that he gave himself. Oh yeah, the name of that Borg was Hugh. Literally, Hugh was a tool to try to destroy the collective. And when they brought him back, they was like, we know what you tried to do. Fuck you. That's why we're gonna kill organics, because Laura had sent them to do that shit. But no, that shit is not mentioned, like, because Starfleet is great. These fucking nationalist, idiot-ass motherfuckers who sit back and pray to the almighty military and then want to complain with you when you don't fucking agree with them, and they want to cry and whine and bitch in the fact that that's not how Starfleet is. The military would never do that. The government would never do that. But secretly have fears that the government is shit. No, but what do you want? What do you have to say about that, right? Let's continue.
Our aspirations to be more than we are, to reach for higher and more noble goals, to explore the boundless potential that exists within us.
It is the struggle itself that is most important. We must strive to be more than we are, Law. It does not matter that we will never reach our ultimate goal. The effort yields its own rewards.
It wasn't a perfect world, and things like jealousy, personal ambition, and moral flexibility could still cause problems and conflict, but Jesus, it was better than this. The world of Star Trek Picard is basically our present-day culture, with all its angst and hang-ups and fears, only with better technology, and that's just fucking depressing.
It's almost as if... Watch it now. It's almost as if when you make a show, you use it based on the contemporaries of that show. What? No. No. That's not how that is it. Yes! Wow, it's almost as if you understand narrative. But these motherfuckers don't. But let's continue.
Number 5.
Sheer fucking hubris.
Just like Star Trek Discovery that tried to awkwardly insert its vapid, preachy, soulless, and unlikable characters into the backstory of classic Trek legends, thus retroactively taking credit for everything that happened afterwards. Star Trek Picard sees fit to alter the fundamental nature of the Federation, Starfleet, and basically everything else in this world. It's turned Starfleet itself into a diversity hire paradise, where every single senior officer is female. It takes established and
Wait, what? I'm sorry. Let's let him finish
beloved
this.
characters that we grew to know over years or even decades, and deconstructs them into obscene parodies of themselves.
Now, mind you, John Luke's senior officer, the Admiral, was always a woman. They went back and got the original woman who was the Admiral that he always used to answer to. Like, literally. Yeah. Like, literally. I swear to God, it's almost as if these motherfuckers don't realize the Next Generation was 8 seasons long. And there was some shit that, like, CBS All Access is giving you this shit to be able to watch all of Star Trek right now. From the original shit to, like, now. Like, if they have, you can actually do it. You can actually fucking do it. But, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what these guys' problem is, but let's let them finish this shit out.
It undermines the basic message of hope and optimism that inspired the best aspects of human nature, presenting instead a bleak, hostile, greedy, dystopian version of the Star Trek universe. It plays on small-minded human fears of advancing technology instead of embracing and championing it as a means to improve our lives.
Like, literally, there were a handful of episodes where people were just like, well, we don't trust Data. Like, there was an episode where, like, they actually had to, like, reset the day, and they didn't trust Data because they fucked up some shit, and it was just like, oh, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I just, like, a lot of these people, I don't know what the fuck their problem is, but I guess, like, the fuck? Yeah, like, this is the problem with this show. Like, the point of the show is outside of the military. That their main antagonist was going to be what Starfleet actually was going to have an issue with. But let's continue.
Revels in gore, torture, violence, and destruction in a show that was once about taking a higher path, using rationality, understanding, and diplomacy to solve problems. It does all of this, and for what? To tell a story that nobody wanted in the first place?
You didn't want a story you didn't want! Like, for real. Like, oh my God, it was a fine story to me. Were there issues? Yes, there were issues, but it was a fine story to me. I didn't have an issue with the story. It is actually, it is a story. Yeah, exactly. It's a story with conflict. There has to be conflict in the story. If your dashing hero comes in and saves the fucking day without any hang-ups at all, and everybody is sucking him off to say, oh yes, please do the thing, it is literally a problem, because that story has no stakes, it has no tension, it has no conflict, the characters don't have any flaws that people can actually, exploit. Exactly, Vegeta. Exactly. But let's let this fool finish.
To explore ideas that have already been handled by other better writers, to shamelessly forcing the creator's political views that none of us asked for or care about, or just to squeeze the last remnants of fan enthusiasm from a franchise that pretty much has been run into the ground by people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know, and nor do I particularly care. Star Trek Picard is just another sad example of what happens when arrogant, talentless, shameless hacks try to elevate their own mediocre work by
people in glass houses. But let's continue.
Standing on the shoulders of giants. And in the end, all it means is an even longer drop when they inevitably overreach themselves and fall to their doom. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Like, his infinite rage is so much that he got exhausted from the shit. Like, for real? Like, is your infinite rage that much that you get exhausted? But, I don't know. I'm being an asshole. Yeah, like, for real. Like, I don't... Candace Meyer? I don't know. But, like, these motherfuckers, like, I don't know. Like, I have one more video that I want to do, but I kind of want to spend some time doing some, Elite Dangerous. So, I'm going to actually say that till tomorrow. I'm going to actually do some drawing, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a last video. And I'm going to actually do some more of my other videos. These things are actually pissing me off because a lot of these guys, they're fucking reactionaries, and these dumbass reactionaries are like, yeah, it's not what I wanted, so it must be bad. Oh, by the way, Vegeta, I am telling you this. Vosh did a video with your favorite big boy, Coach Red Pill. And if you want to laugh your ass off about that motherfucker, I would encourage you to actually look at the Coach Red Pill video that Vosh did, the discussion he did with him. It's fucking unbelievable. It is fucking unbelievable. You're going to actually enjoy this one because Vosh actually plays the shit with Coach Red Pill. Oh, let me see. I can't do it because I know he's banned on Twitch, so I can't actually look it up, but you're gonna laugh about the shit. You're gonna laugh so much you're gonna cry. Coach. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Mute the stream. Yeah. It only lasted about 20 minutes. It literally only lasted about 20 minutes. So, yeah. That was actually interesting. But as it goes, guys, I'm going to wrap it up tonight. I actually did it a little bit quicker. Definitely, you guys, thank you for watching. Since this is going to be this video, I will say this. You motherfuckers are actually, I'm glad that you watch my videos. Enjoy, leave me comments. Please like and subscribe. Share the shit. And enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.